what's up, guys? Hope you're having a good day, and more important, I hope you're taking care of yourself, and I hope you're loving yourself, because remember, nobody can love you like you can love yourself. Today we're going to talk about it's time to reinvent yourself. It's time to do something different. What's reinventing yourself? It's making a new you. It's making a new you. If you was going down this path and that path is over, then you start a new path. And you reinvent yourself to fulfill yourself in life. Sometimes we get bored and we feel like, man, I haven't done enough. So we get into bad habits like maybe drinking, just laying around watching TV. Now it's time to get up and reinvent yourself. It's time to reinvent yourself. Sometimes we give ourselves excuses. Oh man, you know what? I raised all my kids. Hey, I retired. Hey, I did 20 years in the military. I did this and that. I'm just chilling. But then you feel that emptiness and you feel that loss. So what I want you guys to do is go get a piece of paper. And I want you to write down everything that you like to do. I want you to write down everything that you wanted to do. And what I want you to do is pick one thing out of that. And I want you to start doing it. For example, say if you used to play football. Maybe you would like to be a football coach. Maybe you would like to own your own football team. That's reinventing yourself. Maybe you had a life story that everybody will be crazy about, like to hear. Maybe you want to write a book, Maybe you want to make drawings. Maybe you want to be an artist. But the biggest thing about reinventing yourself is leaving something behind. And a lot of times when we talk about leaving something behind, we think about legacy. So when we say legacy, he owned this big corporation, or he left a legacy. This legacy is no measurement on your legacy. Your legacy could be you left 2 books behind. But the thing is, you have to reinvent yourself to come back alive. A lot of times I talk to people and they tell me stories. They say, hey, I had this, I had that. And, we'll go back, and that was probably 10 or 12 years ago, 20 years ago sometimes. Sometimes people just remember stuff that happened 30 or 40 years ago. And you're like, wow. But to them, it seems new because that's the last time they did something. And that doesn't count anymore. Because the car you had 15, 20 years ago, the house you had 15, 20 years ago, it's old now. That's old now. That neighborhood that you lived in is a whole different type of neighborhood now. That car that you was driving that you're bragging about from 20 years ago, you don't even see them anymore. They're outdated. So to reinvent yourself is to update yourself. Just like if you got an old computer or an old phone and you're like, man, I got this iPhone 6. You want that 13 now. And that's what you have to do with your life. You have to reinvent yourself. You have to reinvent your life. And you have to reinvent yourself so you can feel a form of fulfillment. Fulfillment. You don't want to feel empty. And I know it's a lot of you guys out there and ladies and men out there feeling empty. You're like, dang, what should I do? I haven't found my purpose yet. I'm getting older in my years and I haven't found my purpose yet. Or I'm still remembering when I was that high school football player or that high school basketball player, but now I'm in my 30s, I'm in my 40s, and wow. And when you don't feel it until you by yourself. Because whenever you get through with it, you got to look you in the mirror. And when you look yourself in the mirror, that's when you feel the emptiness. That's when you feel like, man, I haven't done enough. And I'm going to tell you something else that doesn't help is when we have people around us that tell you, oh, take those clothes off. You too old looking. Or take that off. That's for the young people. Or this and that. Or this and that. Man, don't let nobody ever talk you down. Because you got to think about it. If they're talking you down or they're talking about other people, that means they're not on their shit. And I'm going to tell you now, with me, it takes all day just being on me. And I'm still slacking. So it's time to get out there. It's time to reinvent yourself. It's time to do more things. If you're not dead, you waking up, you're able to talk, walk, whatever. You're able to breathe. It's time to reinvent yourself. It's time to do some new things in your life. All this information's out here right now. You could do a YouTube channel. It doesn't matter if you get 5 subscribers. Do something. Do something. If you don't use it, you will lose it. So that means if you don't use your legs, if you don't exercise, guess what? You're going to start limping. If you don't use your brain, you're going to get dumb. You're going to get dumb. And then you're going to get ignorant. Ignorance is not a bad word. It just means you don't know. So you need to start reinventing yourself. You need to stop looking at other people and comparing yourself to other people. If you're on social media, you need to log off. You need to log off for 2 or 3 weeks. Social media, most time on social media, people show their best life. And what we do, we compare ourselves to other people's best life. So of course, we'll never compare. We'll never compare to somebody that takes 50 and 60 pictures and picks one, to paint this big picture about themselves. It's time to start looking at you. It's time to look in that mirror and see what you want to do next. What do I want to do next? How do I want to reinvent myself? It doesn't matter what happened in the past. That doesn't even matter. We're talking about right now. And so it's time for you to reinvent yourself. It's time for you to leave something behind instead of just a headstone or a picture. It's time for you to leave some videos back. It's time for you to leave some knowledge back. Maybe you like making blankets. Maybe you like making videos. Maybe you like skating. I don't know what you like, but it's time to reinvent yourself, and it's time to stop feeling empty. It's time to stop feeling empty. And it's time to get up off that couch, or that time that you have when you off work, you need to start doing something else. Because guess what? Believe it or not, we're tired of hearing the same old stories. We're tired of hearing the same old stories. We're tired of hearing about what you used to have, how you used to do this and how you used to do that. It sounds good to you and it sounds like it was yesterday, but we know that shit was like 15, 20 years ago. And it's time to reinvent yourself. It's time to be that new person. And it doesn't matter. You might beat yourself up. You might, I'll do something once I lose some more weight. No, you got to do it now. And trust me, I know the feeling. I haven't made a video probably about 3 months because I plan on losing 40 pounds. But guess what? I didn't lose the 40 pounds. It goes up and down, and I had to get on myself. I said, get back on the videos. Get back on the video. But you're not the weight you want to be, Keith. Get back on the videos. Sometimes you got to correct yourself. You guys are out there telling everybody else what they need to do, how they need to do this, how they need to do that. What about what you need to do? When the last time you looked at yourself? When the last time you told yourself, hey, you need to get on your shit. Hey, you need to start walking. Hey, you need to reinvent yourself. And that's the problem. Everybody's in everybody's business but their own. It's time to reinvent yourself. It's time to go quiet. If you're on that social media too much, cut it off. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake, 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 fake. You'll never see nobody on there saying, oh, my rent's due. Oh, I messed up. Oh, this happened. Everybody's going to be living their best life. And you're comparing yourself to them subconsciously. So it's time to reinvent yourself. It's time to get going. It's time to get that pencil and paper. Get the pencil and paper. Start writing stuff down. Mess with you. Start loving you. Start looking at you. Start looking at your flaws. Start looking at your strengths instead of everybody else's. Hey, you guys, hit the like button, subscribe, comment. I appreciate you. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.